Okay, everyone. Welcome to my little live stream. I have a very special topic prepared, and I've also got my tarot cards with me. This week, I was using my voice quite a lot, as you can tell. Usually, my voice is a little softer, but today I felt a little bit of a sore throat, and I'm actually not feeling so bad, but I was on a conference this week, and there were quite a few people, so more than 100 people there. That means that there was a very big venue, many leaders, top leaders from all around the globe, and the venue was quite large. And I don't know, but the acoustics weren't so good. So I had to talk a lot, of course, because I also held sessions for the leaders. And I think I used my voice a little bit too much. I'm a very extroverted person, so I like to talk to everyone and say hello and where are you from and what are you doing and since when have you joined the company, stuff like that. And I think I kind of overdid it. So sorry for the crackiness in my voice. But I still felt that it's a nice evening to do a little live stream on the topic of mental health for leaders. And I think that there's a plethora of content on the web. So why is this one unique? I can tell you why, because if you happen to know the Advised Childhood Experience studies, so the so-called ACE studies, ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experience, and you can take a bunch of tests that are available online for free. Mostly they have 10 questions, and then when you are done, you get a ACE score. So you can score between 0 and 10. 10 out of 10 would be you score on every aspect of these adverse childhood experiences. So, full disclosure already in the beginning, I score a 5 out of 10. That means my mom and my dad both were full-time workers when I was young. I'm the eldest, and my sister is 6.5 years younger than me. My mom was and is a recovering alcoholic now, and she's quite open about it. So I think it's okay for me to share it. And with her alcohol abuse, of course, there were also other effects on my childhood. So that quite easily adds up to a score of 5 out of 10. And when my sister was raised, I was, I think, in first grade, second grade, and I really had to, take care of my school stuff and study hard. And yeah, I think that really helped my mom. She was always very happy when I came home and I had received a very, very good grade. And of course, as a child, you pick up on these cues and you strive. I started striving. And eventually, it led me to a PhD with the highest possible grade here in Germany. And also, I think I am doing very well in my life with my job as an organizational transformation coach, leadership coach. I have a family of 4 children and a husband, and I look good. I feel healthy, so everything looks fine from the outside. However, all this striving also has some detriments, some disadvantages. One being that I really have a hard time just sitting comfortably, for example, in an armchair, hands folded, doing nothing. I can't. I even sense it right now. My shoulders, they tighten up. I'm not comfortable with doing nothing. And I think that's a detriment to me having this striving, this performance orientation. And so I think a big issue on this is mental health for leaders means checking for yourself. Okay, so how much of an ace do you personally have? Then ask yourself, do you want to disclose it? Disclose it to yourself, disclose it to your team. Because when you take off the masks, it opens up the possibility for everyone on your team to also feel safe, feel as if nothing is wrong with them. And let me tell you, this guilt and this shame of knowing this about yourself, that you have had a traumatizing childhood experience, knowing this, but also pushing it down, trying to not disclose it to anyone. Hopefully no one will notice. Hopefully you will always be able to function very well. This guilt and shame really adds to the very, very early childhood experience, but it adds the disadvantage today. And it kind of makes the original situation harmful today, because you're not harmed by the old situation. You are harmed by the shame and guilt that you feel about yourself, and the hope that no one will notice this in you. So for myself, I am functioning very well. But as I said, I have a hard time relaxing, doing nothing, just sitting, staring, watching. Maybe a spot on the wall would be a very hard exercise for me to do. And I think the guilt and the shame and the masks that we keep on, the armor that we use to not feel our own pain, our own shame, I think that's something that creates a vicious cycle. And you, as leaders, when you first notice about yourself, how much ace do I have, and what's the pattern that it has created within me, and that's quite a long work to do. Journaling is a very good task, good exercise. Journal about the situations in your childhood that you think that might have caused some aces, and then eventually maybe you feel mature and strong, safe enough to open up to a trusted colleague. Maybe it need not be your subordinates in the first place, but maybe ask a peer leader, one on your team, on your level, to that you really trust. Open up, and you will see what happens. You will facilitate them, of course, also to open up. And I think with the pandemic and everyone being so overstressed and homeschooling at the same time, or those who didn't have children in the COVID times, they had the other side of the coin, meaning they were really lonely, no physical touch, so little social engagement, social interaction. And all of these are needs, basic needs that we as humans have. And I think that none of us have gone through COVID untouched. So I would say that it's safe to assume almost everyone has had some kind of traumatizing experience within their lifespan. And so we don't need to feel this shame, this guilt. And so this was the first thing of the live stream that I wanted to share, was this part about the mental health and the ACEs. And the second half I had also promised was to do a little tarot card spread. And for that, I will use my tarot cards. Bear with me if you do not do tarot very often. What I usually do is I need a good grounding for myself. So that's why I'm going to sit a little bit up straight. Try to ground my feet, no shoes on, no legs crossed, and then no arms crossed. And then I will start shuffling the cards. And my question is, what kind of healing should we as leaders in companies, corporations, but also as community leaders, as church leaders. What kind of healing should we go and start? So one card dropped out. I think you saw it. When they drop out, it means that there's a lot of energy behind. It's not that I am clumsy or something. No, to me, it really creates a very important card and a very important sign if they drop out like that. So what kind of feeling should we as leaders encourage in others, in our communities, in our churches, our mosques, synagogues, ashrams, kindergartens, schools, hospitals, public transport, wherever. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. All right, we've got some very, very interesting cards. The one that dropped out is the Lovers. So, I mean, Two of Cups, sorry. Two of Cups looks like the Lovers, is not. Two of Cups. Second one is Death. Let's start with the Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Well, when you look at the Two of Cups, you see two people both holding a cup, both, trying to get to each other. There's this angel, lion, whatever, angel flying on top. I would say it's a boy and a girl, or a woman and a man. They are both on their sides, but still also there's some openness towards each other. Both hold a very huge cup each, so there's a lot of emotions going on, a lot of positive energy. The basic message is the kind of healing that we need to do is to get out of this big divide. We are connected, more connected than we've ever been before. Social media. I mean, right now I see three different displays. I see Instagram, I see YouTube, I see my laptop, I see my cell phone, I see books. So there is a lot that we could potentially use to be in contact with each other. However, we are more divided and more far away from each other, more disconnected than we've ever been before, I would say. And the trauma healing for leaders and also for everyone else on this earth is supposed to be Two Cups, getting back to each other, opening up, touching the other person gently, being interested just in the other one's presence, nothing to accomplish. That's the one thing. And the other card that I got, what we are supposed to do as leaders in our communities, in our schools, in our hospitals, public transport, and so on. I think I kind of went on and on and on. Is death. Something that is over needs to be over for good. Something that is dead already must not be forced to stay, forced to move on, forced to live on. Something that's dead should not be, a horse that's dead should not be ridden anymore. You cannot ride a horse that's dead. And what is dead? Ooh, it's a tough call. So I would say all this burning of fossil fuels, sorry, all this extracting resources from Mother Earth as if it was a fridge and someone else filled the fridge and now we open the doors and take whatever we want, whatever we feel like we're going to take. I think that's something that we really, really must change. This is dead. Otherwise, Earth will teach us that she's not willing to fill the fridge endlessly. So for us as leaders, make a way for a new future that's more beneficial to everyone. That's less energy consuming, that's less extractive, it's more regenerative. So we need to build a world, a future in which whenever we take something off of Earth, we also give back. We give back. And right now we're not giving back a lot. I mean, even our poop, usually it could go back into the cycle of nature, could, go into the soil, new plants would be fertilized. But what we do is we put it down the toilet and we mix it with some chemicals because we like it to be clean and we like the smell of some chemicals better than the poop. And so we cannot give it back to the cycle of life. But we could, potentially we could. But we're not doing it yet. So I think what needs to be totally transformed is our extractive economy. We need it to be more regenerative. And that will then foster collective healing of trauma. And it will keep us from re-traumatizing even more. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you guys have a nice night. Bye-bye.